So in case you create a person and connect them to a policy before connecting them to spouses, children, property addresses, etc., I'm going to just show you a quick workaround. It doesn't really matter which direction you do it. I recommend creating a person and all of its connections before the policies, but if you happen to do it the other way around, it's not a big deal. So we've clicked on add a person. We put in our person's name and we hit save. Then from here, Harold Jackson is looking for a homeowner's insurance policy. So you've got this tab here and you hit add policy, and here's the effective and renewal dates, and we'll call this an owner occupied personal single family residence. I like to put the person's name in here, sometimes a property address. If we know the premiums and it's a bound policy, but for this purpose, we'll just say this is a quote and we'll set it as quoting status. And however you got the lead. And from here, it's going to have these requirements, right? And so naturally, you're going to hit an add aspect and you're going to put in premises address. And then you're going to put in your premises address, check the system to see if it exists or not. If it doesn't, you're going to go ahead and hit create one. Okay, so you put in your information here and you hit save, and now the requirement for the premises goes away. It also wants a structure, and so you can go ahead and hit add a structure for a single family home, and we're going to create 1, 2, 3, 4 any street, and then you put in your year built and square footage and so on, and you hit save. So this is great. You've completed everything that's required for a homeowner's policy because those red things are not there. Now, if Harold Jackson calls back one day and he says, hey, I'd like to get earthquake insurance, and you go ahead and you add the earthquake insurance policy and fill in the blanks, then when you arrive at this screen, it's only going to have him there and these won't be connected. So how are we going to get Harold connected to this premises address, and how are we going to get this premises address connected to the structure? So we know that Harold is connected to these tables via the policy. So let's go ahead and click on him. And right over here, you'll find the premises address. And we can go ahead and connect this premises address to Harold. That aspect is added. And so now when you refresh your screen, you'll see that Harold is now associated with this address. And if we click on this address, and you want to associate this address with the structure, which is a good thing to do because the structure is part of the premises, and then we refresh our screen again, and now we've got aspect here and so on. So now if Harold Jackson wants to add earthquake insurance, when you land on his screen and you add a policy for him, let's say we want to do earthquake insurance. Put in his name here. And we'll just say this is quoting status again. So now when we save this, now it's going to be a lot easier to connect Harold with the premises address for this policy. And once we see that premises address, it's going to be a lot easier to connect it to the structure. And then voila, it's all done. You refresh your screen and those requirements have now gone away. So that's in a nutshell. So if you start by creating a person and create the policies first, it's pretty simple to just, get into here and associate that person with these different tables. But I do recommend if you create a person, go ahead and click on aspects, add spouses, addresses, everything else you need first, and then you're off and running. Just makes things easier going forward.